All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles and elders that rule well, of Great Millstone who rule well. And Shalom to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity. Um, the Spirit got on me. I was going through RT, looking at some news articles and watching some news videos on YouTube. And, Putin's really upping his his arms, all of his tactical warfare instruments of war, his weaponry. So, it's we're getting close to that time, of the end. Everybody's beefing up their military. It's March now, so March is usually when war starts to happen. So I'm gonna show a couple of clips of these videos here of some of the new technology that Russia really has coming out. So bear with me. I know this isn't the greatest of technology, but just bear with me. Hopefully it's still edifying. See where that's headed, right? Ooh, and the other one headed to the same spot. All right, now watch what happens. This is why the scriptures say there should be 200 million missiles, because each one of these warheads has multiple warheads inside of it. Right? Now that's just one of them. Right? The other one, new submarine.
Oh, that hurts. But checking Credit Karma for free will never hurt your scores. Get free scores, free report.
Boy, they got some heat for that ass right there. So like for my French, but hey, for those who don't understand that, we living in those times, man. This is a serious time. It's not a joke. And the Most High is, getting ready to judge the earth which He created, the world which He created, and it's about to go down. The war of Armageddon is at the doorstep. Man. Right, talk of a new arms race, pulling out they pulled since the U.S. pulled out of the arms treaty, right? It's, people getting tired of America, and the scriptures I have to read are gonna talk about some of that. Yeah, it flies low, so it's not detected by the radar. This defense systems can't mess with it. You know what I'm saying? It's time, man. We're living in the time of Armageddon, and it's getting worse and worse. You know, this country's getting worse and worse. You know, which for us is a blessing. You know, because we know that our kingdom, you know, is close at hand. When this kingdom goes down, our kingdom rises. Now, also something that's going on is Russia and China are doing backdoor deals.
Headlines coming out that the U.S. is threatening to cut China off from the dollar if it does not uphold its sanctions against North Korea. Also, stories North Korea is hacking South Korean Bitcoin exchanges. All of this is tying in full circle here on the world stage. I'm warning you. There's a game-changing moment happening right now. We have China preparing to launch a crude oil futures contract denominated in the Chinese currency and convertible into gold, potentially creating the most important Asian oil benchmark and allowing oil exports to bypass the U.S. dollar, and that will be crushing. It will be a game-changing move. It's one that Russia and China are fully in bed together with. They have been for some time. Your U.S. dollar isn't backed by gold. They could come up with a cryptocurrency and back it by silver at this point, and it would be worth more than your dollar. Now, the problem with this is the stage has been set for a long time for this to happen. Most people in the West don't want to hear this news, but when you hear of the transfer of wealth to the East, it will be when the West collapses. I believe the world stage is preparing for this. I believe all the boss hogs and puppet masters know this. This has been part of the plan for decades. Just like 9/11 was, just like you can fold up your money and see two towers smoking, this next event has been planned for a long time. Man. And I honestly feel it's a lights out situation in this country. It cripples it. They can
that would change everything.
Or cyber or mix or
you know, that would change everything.
And maybe even backed by Russia.
Right, so I'm gonna read a couple of scriptures.
Engage this whole world war, but there's very little that we're gonna be able.
And you know, bring some edification to what's going on here. Now, the scriptures talk about the war of Armageddon, you know, which is around the corner, and all this turmoil that's going on, the arms races, the collapsing of the dollar. This is all going to lead to World War III. Right? The scriptures say that the second woe has passed, and the third woe cometh quickly. Well, you know, we've been on the stage. You know, the stage has been building up for World War III for a long time. Right? So this is Revelation 16:16. He gathered them all into a place in the Hebrew tongue called Armageddon. All right, let's get this. And in the Hebrew, Armageddon is Armageddon WWIII. The hill or city of Megiddo. All right. Revelation 16:16. The scene of the struggling of good and evil is suggested by that battle plain as Esdraelon, which was famous for two great victories of Barak over the Canaanites and of Gideon over the Midianites, and for two great disasters, the death of Saul and Josiah. Hence, in Revelation, a place of great slaughter, the scene of a terrible retribution upon the wicked, right? And who's the wicked? So-called white man, Esau, Edom, right? You cave dwellers, Caucasians. The RSV translate the name to Armageddon, i.e. the hill or the city, and the hill or city represents nations, right? And then we're going to jump into Revelations 18. starting at 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Right, because this place, during that war, of World War III, when everybody turns to fight the chariots, and then sets off the nukes to come to this place, as the scriptures talk about. At the same time, this is going to become a desert, and it only inhabited by foul birds and creatures that can survive in a desert, but it will not be inhabited. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And all these other nations have become rich off of this import nation known as America, right? Which isn't a country; it's a corporation, right? And that fornication is like when you go to any of these other countries and you have business meetings, they're not dressed in their own ancient attire. They're dressed like the so-called white man, right? In an office building built like the so-called white man, right? They're all drunk off of the fornication, which is the doctrine or the agenda of the so-called white man, and they've all adopted it, right? Homosexuality, bestiality, the economic way of life. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not her plague. Now that's the deliverance of the nation of Israel. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians that will be saved from this destruction, 144,000 of you, right? The ones that are elected. Now the rest are going to be partakers of this plague. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even if as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled to her double. Right? So, she's gonna she is being the great whore, Babylon the Great, Sodom and Egypt, spiritually Sodom and Egypt, America, right? And that reward is going to be slavery. He that killeth with the sword shall be killed with the sword. He that taketh into captivity shall be killed. He that taketh into captivity shall be taken into captivity, right? And it's going to be double for these people, the wicked, right? The so-called white man, because of what he's done throughout the face of the earth. Right, all the destruction of war, and his blessing is his blessing was the sword, and the sword nowadays is these ICBM missiles, right? And that's why Putin's able to do what he does. That's why the Germans were able to do what they did, and America is able to do what they do, right? And everybody is drunk off that fornication, right? So they're doing the same thing. They're building up ICBM missiles. China, Iran, who said they say doesn't have any, but and all these other countries, North Korea, right? So hopefully with that, this was edifying. Just a sign of the times. Wars and rumors of wars. We're almost at the doorstep of World War III, and that's why this arms race is taking place. So with that, I want to give all glory and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Shalom, peace and blessings unto the Akim out there pushing this truth. Shalom.